Good afternoon, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. You do not want to miss today's show. We've been able to book Mr. Danny Starr, and Danny is the CEO and founder of the Website Depot. If you know anything about digital marketing or increasing web traffic, building your online reputation, improving Google rankings, or boosting your online sales, you know Danny because he is right in the middle of the entire universe when it comes to digital marketing. Danny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be part of your show. Wonderful show. I've been your fan for a long time, and I'm very flattered to be here with you today.
Danny, it's great to have you on the show. Let's pull the lens back and let's get started for those people in the unlikely event that they haven't heard of your company, the Website Depot. Let's tell them a little bit about the company.
Absolutely, thank you. Website Depot was formatted in those the last depression in '08, right? So we formatted this. And my mind was, let's try all the businesses. So let's be this unicorn, like a marketing agency for small businesses, so I can learn better. The DNA of different, business industries. So it was pretty tough those 10 years, doing marketing for medical, for all those things. But, experience and knowledge that I've learned, it was just amazing. And I met somebody at Google conference, an older gentleman from Russia that lives in Canada. And he's like, yes, me and my son doing digital marketing as well because of the, recession, the last recession. We want to make sure that we understand Canadian businesses better. I was like, that's exactly what I'm about to, So it's great. It's been great 10 years and a lot of experiences, learning about marketing small business online.
See, that's great. And you started in 2008, and now it's 13 years later. A lot has changed. A lot of different things have occurred. We have so many different platforms out there now that you have to be aware of as a business owner, whether it's Google and YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and everything else out there. For companies that want to get into the digital space and reach out to an expert like Danny over at the Website Depot, there's just so much to think about. Let's talk about, Danny, sort of the comprehensive look that Website Depot is able to do for your customers. How do you go about giving them the comprehensiveness necessary to compete in today's internet age?
Yes. So the full service digital, basically, this is like our most popular service, all-in-one solution for small businesses for online marketing. It basically gives us decent amount of budget for us to be able to act like your VP of marketing, like CMO, right, Chief Marketing Officer, where we will be overseeing your budgets, making sure you have your ROI, making sure that there is reputable reputation growing, that organic ranking is there, that that there is a return on investment, and also that the product is healthy, right? The customers are happy and satisfied. So we look at different verticals for every business. There's a room on Google, but if businesses are smaller players, then there are other platforms that are a bit more attractive to them, like Google My Business Marketing, Yelp Ads, something like that might be more attractive for a smaller coffee shop than maybe like a Facebook ad, right? And then also we've noticed that businesses, they have a lot of content, a lot of puzzles. They have videos, they have video testimonials, they have celebrities using the products or services, right? But they don't upscale that. Okay, let me use that for the ad. Let me use that for endorsement. Let me use that for for PR or anything like that nature. So this is where we come in as professionals, and we open those eyes to business owners what is possible to do and how that can be put out there on the online footprints to generate more traffic, more sales, more revenues, and building reputation for the business.
See, this makes all the sense in the world for a smaller company to outsource their entire digital marketing strategy. So it's almost like when they work with Website Depot, it's like they have their own private chief marketing officer working right inside their company, but yet they're working with Danny and his entire team at the Website Depot. Is that what we're talking about today?
Yes, yes. Like each client has, like dedicated manager, account executive, which is usually somebody that, understands the field, has worked in those accounts before, has been trained to the protocol and process, right? Because, businesses, in industry are similar, right? So, Facebook lead ad campaign, they work for, many service businesses, and, you just duplicate those campaigns. That's not much, know-how in there, rather than creativity, right? We basically, yes, we look at ourselves and we give you a team of, let's say, depending on the package, but roughly, let's say 10 people on average, right? So those 10 people will be a writer, the developer, graphic designers, paid marketing strategies, then, administrator, account support that will communicate with your sales team and, the marketing team. So the way, we can do, best results for our customers. A lot of people, they are on a constrained budget. They want to do a lot of things themselves. We also teach them and show them certain things, right? But you see, this is what the catch is. If you are, willing to do things on your own, you still should be working with the expert on some part of, your digital marketing, avenues. So the way you can learn and they can show you, doing certain things right. You're not checking your traffic, Google Analytics. You don't using the call checking matrix. You don't know where the calls are coming from. You're still advertising on some type of a TV, and you think that's a return on investment. But like once you hear about a call checking matrix technology, you slam a phone number on a video ad, and then you get 3 calls, and those 3 calls are marketing calls. Then you see where the video, your TV ad money went for it. Especially those Armenian TV, Spanish TV, Russian TV. You have all those TVs here in LA that people advertise, $4,000 or $5,000, but they don't really get much, return on investment anymore because people are not at the TV. People are on their phones, people are on their computers, laptops, right? We are addicted to the technology, and technology is part of our lives. And it fascinates me. 4 years ago at Google, they did many research, and they said that an average human being, interacts with the phone 187 times in a single day. So that's imagine those are the moments that we as a marketing can be there for the proper audience. But all people are like, let me do myself. Let me build my website myself. Let me do my Facebook ad myself. Yes, you can do certain things yourself, but if you're serious about it, you should be dealing with the expert, right? Because you might be doing those mistakes and then nothing is working out, and your time is money. Focus on your brand, focus on your business, focus on your product, service, so customers are happy, expansion, growth, and let digital space be run by people that are into it, and every day they eat, breathe the digital space. So those are people that have working for you. That's what Bill Gates and Steve Jobs said on the interview together. They asked them what is common between you two, right? What is the one common thing? Can you guys tell us? And they said, Bill says, I'm sure one thing is in common. Both of us are the oldest employees in our corporations.
You really have hit the nail on the head, Danny, because when someone calls you at the Website Depot, they're going to get a team of, let's say, 10 people who are experts in their field to help those companies get to where they want to go online. Everybody has sort of moved over to their cell phone or their smartphone. So the idea of digital marketing as compared to 20 years ago is much different because everything needs to be sort of focused in on what it's going to look like on the smartphone, and you have an expertise in that. And these companies, like you mentioned, for the younger entrepreneurs, they need to focus on their business. If they're not the experts in the marketing, then they need to bring somebody in that can help them with their marketing plan. And if they're not going to hire a CMO, which is only one person, they could hire you and get 10 people working for them almost overnight. And I think that's a wonderful way to go, don't you think?
Yeah, I think this is like, for the businesses, this is like, a solution in a box. Now, of course, we can be the reason or like guarantee that, you're going to be successful. You still have to make sure, your products are good and, your business structure is properly, because, we've dealt with a lot of businesses that, do generate a lot of money or do get a lot of leads, but they are not, best business managers, so, even those issues can arise, right? So yeah, you always have to be, into your brand, invest, and then, be outside of the box, be open-minded, right? Maybe, listen to your customers. Working, what helps me the most is that I deal with a customer, right? Because I deal with the business owners, I deal with the people that have 40, 50 employees or, 200 employees, and they have questions that are not exactly my territory, or I learn certain things that, I wouldn't have known. And, this is this mastermind, Andy, that and that you've talked about, that connects all those, brains together. And this value you just can't get with your in-house employee. One person won't be your mastermind person doing everything, graphic designing, writing for you, changing things on the website, running the Facebook ads, answering the phone calls, checking your salespeople, and then make sure to please you whenever you call. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, It's impossible.
So that's amazing, because really you hit on something that's very interesting and very, very cutting edge, is that what you're saying, Danny, I haven't heard it said before on the show, and it's very interesting, where you're saying use Danny's team as your mastermind. And I really like that. So mastermind is really plural. It's not using one person as your mastermind. It's using Danny's team at Website Depot as the mastermind. So you get an entire team that's really your mastermind. That's really awesome. Let's talk about some of these websites, Danny, that I see out there. And you get to the website and you really don't even know what the company does. The messaging is all mixed up. The messaging is sort of diffused. You're not exactly sure what the company does. I mean, when I come on Website Depot, I know what you do. You guys are the experts in digital marketing. But when you talk to a customer that you look at what they're doing, and it just looks sort of like a mishmash, it doesn't have any cohesiveness to it, I would imagine that's where you and your mastermind team can get in there and really help a company focus in on their message.
Yes, because our team is disciplined. We have put a protocol and process in place that, we are not inventing or reinventing any wheels or any warm water, right? Like we identify competitors, we look at the market, we look at the market space, right? Like, my background is, business and economy. So we look from perspective, like where the users are, how will users, react, how are competitors looking. And then when it comes to those websites, yes, this is a problem. And that everybody is, on a budget. Everybody is trying to get, workforce overseas. So people, overseas are building the websites for, the AC, HVAC professionals in America, where the business in America, AC is very different than AC business in India. You know what I mean? So for them, is a bit difficult to get this touch and this message through it. So you have those websites sometimes look good because, they're templates, they're those templates that sell for $50, but they've generated hundreds of millions of dollars, like a Avada template, I'm sure you heard of, one of the most popular WordPress templates. It has over millions of downloads, and I think it's like $40 per pop. Designs are nice, right? Everything looks, but then when you put an AC guy or dentist or anybody in there, it loses its concept and communication, right? Because you see, everybody wants to have a certain way, let me get an in-house guy do something, or let me get somebody overseas for $600, build me a website and, write for me or whatever. Then we build a website for them and they're like, hey, you know what? We have to rewrite everything because, they're misspells. There is no sense. There is no messaging through it. And you show, your clients, competitors' websites, and they're like, oh, I want a website like that. Yeah, but the website is custom. Most likely has $10,000, $20,000 of labor in it, plus 3-4 years of SEO and upgrades in it. That's like a $50,000 website. Honestly speaking, like just like a classic car, right? When you buy a classic car and you pay a mechanic to change exhaust and wheels and all that stuff, the value goes up. The same goes with the website. Now you would like for $1,000 somebody to magically create something overnight to compete with something that is worth $50,000. So once they see it, understand it, and you see when you work with them, right? Like, hey, proofread these articles. What is your message? What is the edge with your business that you offer that other people don't offer? And when you put all those puzzles together for them, then you can actually see like an end game, and open their eyes to actually, believe and understand. And then they grow and they're so happy. And they're just like those success stories for Shark Tank. So they're very happy to be working with us, and they're looking forward to keep growing.
See, that makes a lot of sense, Danny. And what you're saying is one of the things that has allowed your company, the Website Depot, to do business with not only $1 million companies, but you've helped some $1 billion companies in your career. One thing that you're able to do is you're able to sort of reverse engineer the experience. And what I mean by that is I was very fascinated looking at the Website Depot and seeing that you really look at the end user, you look at the customer and what their experience is and what that experience needs to be for the experience with the company. So a lot of people build the websites from a marketing perspective without thinking about what the end user's experience is, but you reverse engineer it. You think about the end user's experience, the customer, which is the most important thing in the entire transaction, and you sort of reverse engineer what that customer needs to the front end. So what has allowed your company to grow to such heights that you've been able to grow to? Is it just because of the fact that you've sort of pigeonholed an expertise in this entire digital marketing business that you're in?
It's a very good question, but honestly, I think it was the sixth power out there. I think the customers, themselves, like working with the customers, for my own business, like working one-on-one on a customer, like with attorneys that just came out of the college and got a bar license and called me to build them a website, and I sold them a $500 package because we were just starting, like those people push me to do more, to learn more, to go to them, to Google and all those expos and educate, and then get a good team together that will bring more on the table. And then it's a win-win situation, right? Like I was always, optimistic with every customer that start working with us, right? Like I was like, I will give you the trust. I will open the doors for you, right? I'm not going to say, oh, I reserve right to decline the customer. I will give you the chance. But then when, if you were getting a bad reputation or bad reviews online or whatever, I will be the person calling you. Hey, Andy, what's going on? Why are the people complaining? Like, do we have to change the dough that we are making pizza with? Do we have to change this supply chain, or what do we need to do? Like, work on the staff. Like I would even train the plastic surgeon, one of my clients, his staff, how to answer the phone calls, because they have horrible customer service. They had like a liposuction, like 9 months waiting line for the surgery, was $10,000 deal, but the customer service was horrible. You know what I mean? So doctor paid us to train their staff how to do better customer service. And you see, Andy, this pushed us to understand our clients as well, right? Because if you don't understand your clients, how are you going to understand somebody else's customers? And then we put ourselves, because we are shoppers, and we do those focus groups, like I contribute for Forbes and all those things. So we do those focus groups and we ask people, would you buy from this person? Or would you, it's like, what, I would buy, but those 2 1-star Yelp reviews they have, is this true? And then you're like, no, that's not true at all. But why they don't say something? Why don't they reply? And then you have HIPAA laws, or, there's always something behind it, or attorney client privileges, or, you have all those things going on where you have to be very careful. People don't understand, but you go to these experiences and you learn so many things that it's a win-win. And if you as a marketer don't go for this edge and go with those winners, you will get stuck. You will get stuck because there are people that will, abuse and take any advantage for marketers and blame them for everything, just so they can, go and enjoy their lifestyle, or whatever, down the road, rather than be working hard and focusing on the work and, working with a team, like winners.
See, this is a great entrepreneurial story for some of the younger entrepreneurs watching the show. Danny just took you through sort of the process. He always didn't have the biggest and the most successful digital marketing agency. He started slow. He learned about his clients. He learned sort of the way that the water ran with the different industries that he was helping. He asked a lot of questions. He took deep dives into his clients' needs and wants and desires, and finished by coming up with a process and a blueprint that he could use with additional clients who call him and call his company, that he's been able to explain and teach to his mastermind group that works for him, that then goes out and helps other companies that contact his company to get the online presence where they need it. So that's really a great entrepreneurial story. And that really is a testament to Danny's ability to be an entrepreneur, to sometimes make mistakes, but wipe your knees off and get back off the ground and keep on going and going and going. And that's what Danny's been able to do over the last 13, 14 years with this company. And at the end of it, he looks up and here he is helping million and billion-dollar companies at times. So that's a wonderful story, Danny, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, Andy, thank you for asking me. And yes, customers, win-win situation. I mean, this opportunity, that all those budget that we were giving, millions of dollars was spent on Google, right? Like somebody says, how do I learn Google? Is like, just like the same way you're learning how to drive a bike or drive a car, right? Like more you drive, better driver you are, So you want me to help you and show you my experience about my driving? Let me tell you, don't waste money here, don't waste money there. Those are most common mistakes, right? And that's a quick start that I think every business owner should have opportunity, to be aware about a business plan, right? Like, like nine out of 10 customers I get, Andy, phone calls just to give them a free consultation about the digital strategies. They wouldn't have a business plan. Like you would ask them, do we have a business plan? Do we have a marketing budget? Do you have a acquisition, desirable amount that you want to spend, cost per acquisition? And they're like, let me think about it. Like, we don't know. I'm not blaming, people in America, freedom, like everybody should have a business and just go for it, but if you go a little bit and just say, okay, let me get a business plan, that's how much money in, that's how much money out, marketing plan, obviously, how I'm going to market, right? How I'm going to make people how make sure I have repetitive customers, and then rinse and repeat and go to, different territories. I have Mobile Wash, go from one location to entire, vast, atmosphere of the United States. It's the #1 mobile detailing, car washing app, or the interactive app, dentist app. All the dentists put together, they also acquired us for SEO, strategies and those things. And we can help, and we are there, Andy. And anybody who is part of your community is very welcome to get free book from me. All I'm going to need is the name and the address, and ask them to, when they're done reading, to donate that book to another business owner. Because I would just like, business owners to be, educated, share about digital space they need to know. Because the good feeling, Andy, is when you go to the restaurant, right, with your wife and whatever family or your brother-in-law, and you take them down the street and say, hey, we'll go eat here, this Italian restaurant. I know the owner, I know the owner's mom, and it feels small business, and it feels like money stays within communities, right? So that's what Website Depot it's about. It's bringing the boutique feel to all those different cities in America.
Well, you can feel your passion through the video interview. It's wonderful, and you're the author of the Vision 2020, The Secrets of Digital Marketing. And I think I heard that you're going to give a copy away for free, that people reach out to you on the website, which is a marvelous offer because you're giving back to the community. And I know that you're a big believer in that. And one of the things that has made you very, very successful, Danny. I also know from firsthand experience that when I reached out to you and said, hey, Danny, I'm trying to get one of the preeminent experts in digital marketing on the show, you sent me all kinds of files and reports just for the asking. And I really appreciated that very much. And I'm sure, some of your potential candidates are going to be able to look forward to receiving those fine reports that your teams put together for them as well. And Danny, I know that time is very, very precious, and I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the show today. This is really a delight, and to be able to speak to someone that's been able to build a company like yours is really an honor, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you too. Thank you, Andy, very much for having me. Appreciate it. It was my honor being on your show, and I've been your fan. So keep it up. You're rocking, Andy. I'm your fan.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny.